defending champion and top seed Carolyn Dorin Ballard is looking to recapture last year's glory. But for a title tonight, she might have to face Leanne Barrette, winner of the last 2 PWBA events. The finals of the Dallas Open are next. For the second consecutive year, the PWBA returns to Dallas, Texas. Last year, it was Don Carter City View in nearby Fort Worth. This year, we welcome you to Don Carter West for the finals of the Dallas Open. Tonight's opening match will be a 3-person shootout between the 2002 WIBC Queens champ, Kim Terrell, the hottest competitor of the last 4 events, Leanne Barrette, and the 2001 Robbie Award recipient, Liz Johnson. The athlete with the highest score in that match will advance to go head-to-head against the '99 Rookie of the Year in search of her first career title, Tiffany Steinberg. And the winner of that match will earn the right to challenge top seed Carolyn Dorin Ballard for the championship. Hello, everyone. I'm Jan Schmidt, along with the lady currently ranked 9th on tour, Kathy Dorin Lizzie. Kathy, Leanne Barrette is attempting to accomplish something only achieved 10 times in professional bowling history, both female and male. That's win 3 straight titles. Is she thinking about it?
Well, Jan, she has to be thinking about it because everybody's talking about it. With a victory tonight for Leanne, she enters an elite group of professionals. And look at these names. These are the legends in our sport of professional bowling. But Leanne's focus for tonight is first things first. If she were to reach the championship match, it will be then and only then that she will allow herself to believe that something this wonderful could actually happen to her.
Well, if she does get to believe it and do it, she'd have to, ironically, do it against the lady who was the last person to win 3 in a row, top seed Carolyn Dorin Ballard. Kathy, it all started right here last year. Big hometown victory. Is it just as important to Carolyn this year?
Well, a win anywhere for Carolyn is important, but in Dallas, Texas would be extremely special for her. Now remember, Carolyn is still searching for her first victory of the year, and during that search, she feels she's lost a part of her edge, constantly comparing this year to last year's fantasy season. 18 telecasts, 7 victories, 11 tied or broken records. It's almost unrealistic for Carolyn to believe she could ever top a year like that. But once you've accomplished something so unique and so superior, it's almost unrealistic to believe that you can't repeat a feat as great as that one. Well, Carolyn's back tonight to prove that whatever that missing edge was, she's back.
We're through 5 frames here of the opening match. There's a look at the score. Liz Johnson way out in front by 43 pins. She's throwing 5 strikes, a couple of them light, lucky hits, 3 of them solid. And Leanne Barrette, Kim Terrell, they've been struggling through the first few frames, but have lined it up in frames 4 and 5. Leanne leaving 10 pins the last 2 frames. Trouble in the opening frames, missed a 7-pin. She had a split, a 210, then lined it up. Kim Terrell also trouble in the first few frames lining it up, but now 2 good strikes in the 4th and 5th.
You need those shots to maybe break the ice a little bit and get loose.
Kim Terrell with 3 in a row saying to Liz Johnson, hey, this is still going to be a match. You better keep striking. Liz Johnson with 5 in a row, front 5 strikes. She shot a 300 this week. Trying to make it 2 of them. A little bit of trouble on that shot.
Well, I was wondering if Liz was going to shoot 300. She shot the only 300 of the tournament. And of course, I'll give you one guess who it was against.
Carolyn Dorin Ballard.
Of course. She's got the bullseye on her back when it comes to 300s.
So big split for Liz, taking 2. Trying to get the most pin count since she's on all those strikes. Pin count important. So right now, Liz Johnson in the lead with that open frame by just 15 over Terrell. and by 48 over Barrette. So Leanne Barrette's hopes of 3 in a row are dwindling rather quickly.
You can see Leanne's throwing the ball with a little bit of shine. She said Wednesday was a really good day. Thursday, a little shaky. The lanes got tighter, but Leanne can still use stronger equipment with less surface because look at how many times her ball rolls. She throws so much rotation.
She's just not able to get the 10 pin out today.
Which means she probably could use a little surface. So the ball wouldn't go so long and then jerk hard on the back. It would tame the reaction down a bit.
Come in at a little different angle.
Yes, angle of entry is very important. Now Kim Terrell did switch balls.
Thank you very much.
Even though that wasn't pretty, it gave her 4 in a row. So the ball switch was definitely the right way to go.
And that was the 7th bonus frame there for Kim Terrell. Leanne Barrette had qualified 4th, was hoping to win 3 in a row. Covers up the spare with just 3 frames left. She'd almost need a miracle at this point. Meanwhile, Liz Johnson, who had struggled this week and many weeks with back problems. If you can relate to injuries, you know how tough it is to do any sport with an injury, but to do it at a professional level.
Come on, good shot. Well, Liz has such a great reaction because she's playing her A game and she's in her comfort zone. She's mentioned many times over the years that when she plays out, and we know it too, bowling against her, she's deadly because that's her comfort zone. She's so awesome from out.
And she even talked about...
Stay on the lane.
Oh, you heard her. Stay on the lane.
Wow, has this match turned around?
It appeared that she just got a little overly aggressive. Definitely threw it hard and too far to the right. It hit the oil and fell right into the channel.
Well, how about it? Kim Terrell now in the lead after 4 strikes. Liz Johnson with 2 open frames in a row. Leanne Barrette, though, down by 43. Has to start something here.
Leanne looks like she never got comfortable.
No, she really wasn't comfortable. There's a lot of pressure on her to win 3 in a row.
Sure. You can see great release on Leanne. Beautiful ball rotation, but it was left out of her hand. She needed to get the ball a little further right. That's the result if you don't.
Kim Terrell high now, 3-6, 9-10. Leanne Barrette will give this a go. She has no choice to do anything but.
Show off a little. And she gets the wood, which is important, because you never know. This is a very big spare for Kim.
Tough spare too, Kathy. She needs to make sure the ball takes out that back pin also.
Now it's very interesting because Kim normally throws her spare ball at everything, including double wood spares. Yet now she's opted to throw a duller ball. Very interesting.
It's the hook here. Yeah, exactly the right way. That one would be extremely tough to pick up with a spare ball. So Liz Johnson now up throughout the week. She defeated Terrell with a big 243 game. These ladies averaging 213 on this TV camera. And Liz right back on the strikes now in the 8th frame.
Oh, Liz is usually very quiet. We have her a little boisterous tonight. I like that.
So Kim Terrell up by just 2 pins over Liz Johnson. Tight match between those two. Leanne Barrette, meanwhile, just trying to finish out here. What a great run she's had. 4 shows in a row, 2 titles in a row. Leanne Barrette attempting to get to that millionaire club. She's not far away. I would venture a guess she'd get there this year.
She will definitely get there.
Tough break for Leanne Barrette. Kim Terrell looking at her match play record. Kim Terrell having the best season of her career. It's her 5th show. That's the most she's made in any season for the entire year.
Right. And she's thrilled to death with her performance.
And almost another lucky strike for Kim on lane 46. Kathy, for Leanne Barrette, I mean, do you think the lanes just aren't, the condition doesn't favor her today, or you think there's a little pressure involved?
I think it's both. I don't think she looks comfortable physically. There's a ton of pressure. I mean, she's going to enter a group of the best professionals in bowling. So there's a lot of pressure, but no pressure here. She slides over the 2-4-10. No problem.
Just the way you're supposed to do it. Kim Terrell now converting the 6-10 in the 9th frame. Liz Johnson, 13 and 11 in match play throughout the week, but this, the big match right now, very close.
Come on. Oh, great shot by Liz.
10-pin seems to be tough to kick out.
You can see Liz playing right between 5 and 10. Very direct, using a pretty strong ball. You can see with some surface, but Liz throws it very hard so she can use the surface.
She missed this last time on this lane.
She wasn't going to miss it twice.
Absolutely not. So we have a very tight match as we get ready for the 10th frame. Kim Terrell in the lead by just 1 pin.
Now, Jan, Leanne did mention her weakness this week was her timing. Her feet were very fast. And as you can see on the condition tonight, you need to be a little slow, a little soft, and fast feet is just not the way to go. So it could be a timing issue also.
Leanne had told us last night this was the worst of her 4 weeks as far as how she's got balls.
Yes.
She'll try and save it right now, throw some strikes, but for Kim Terrell, it's a big 10th frame, and she actually has the opportunity to close this match out. If she throws 3 strikes, she'll be the victor and move on. Anything less, Liz Johnson will have an opportunity.
Beautiful shot by Kim. She's a clutch player. She's not going to go down easy.
No, she's not.
But to be honest with you, neither will Liz.
Exactly, so Kim needs to finish it off first.
Yes.
Well, not one of Leanne's better games, but she will be back. It's actually bordering on her low game of the week, so it's not, doesn't show what Leanne did throughout the week. Meanwhile, Kim Terrell needing this strike. Oh, light. 2-8 now. She missed this spare. This spare is going to be important. She needs to make this spare to force a double out of Liz Johnson. Well, Leanne Barrette, great run. What a wonderful several weeks, actually the whole year. A good year for Leanne Barrette so far. Kim Terrell needs to pick up the 2-8. Now, Kathy, is she using her spare ball? Can you tell?
Yes, she opted to go back to her plastic ball.
And I understand that's what she normally does on
Yes.
the spare. Important for both. And she covers it.
Well, this is absolutely how you would shoot at this. You have to be very, very accurate. Straight arm swing to keep your ball on target like that with a plastic ball. Kim's great at it.
So Liz Johnson will need 2 strikes. There's 1. She'll need 1 more strike and actually need to keep it on the lane. She'll need a strike and 2 pins.
It's tough to beat Liz when she's in her comfort zone. Once again, you can see very accurate between 5 and 10. Very direct, hard and straight. That's her A game. And you can see why. Beautiful shot. Didn't quite look like it was going to hit the pocket solid, but something tapped the 10 pin, and I think she was as shocked as everybody else.
She said no, and then,
oh yeah.
Needs 2 pins. She'll just try to keep it on the lane, stay behind the fall line, and
right.
she does.
Right.
So Liz Johnson is the best of the 3 tonight with a final score of 220. When we return, she'll advance to the semifinal match. She'll be taking on Tiffany Steinberg.
The championship round finals of the Dallas Open are being brought to you by the Women's International Bowling Congress, striving for 87 years to identify and fulfill the needs of women bowlers. By Travelodge Hotels, proud to be the official lodging sponsor of the Professional Women's Bowling Association. And by PWBA.com, the tour's official site for news and information about the PWBA and its athletes.
Final score of the opening match, Liz Johnson's 220 to Terrell's 212 and Barrette's 159. So we proceed now to the semifinal match of the Dallas Open. Tiffany Steinberg elected to start the match with a great opening shot.
Well, she's back tonight with a vengeance, Jan, from Terre Haute, and she lost to Brenda Norton. And that was a great championship match. 2 non-titleists, both looking for the first title. That was really something.
It was, and as Tiffany put it to us, the wheels fell off.
Yes, and I think one wheel still fell off there. She just missed that 7 pin. But, you know, opening shot jitters. A lot's on the line for her, too.
Meanwhile, Liz Johnson came through like a champion in the 10th frame with strikes when she needed them to defeat Terrell and Barrette.
Well, that's gotta
do something, like not tough spare here, the 3-9-10.
All right. Liz definitely got this one in, and it wasn't going to hold. 3-9-10 spare, which is very difficult because of the double wood. She will also opt to throw her strike ball at it.
By third with a 211 average. Oh, picture perfect. Yeah, beautiful shot.
You have to move left. Definitely go cross lane at it, but she couldn't have thrown it that any better. Liz said her strength this week was her spare shooting. If it wasn't for making her spare, she doesn't think she would have been able to help us.
That because there were a fair amount of low scores.
Low scores, and when her comfort zone, which we have said before, is playing out, goes, Liz has no choice but to move left. She lacks confidence playing in because she can't come around the ball as much as the other girls. She can't slow her speed down the way some of the other girls do. And as you can see, the lanes appear to be a little tight. You have to be slow or you have to have surface. She has surface, so she probably needs to be a little slow.
Gave it a run, but didn't convert the 210. If you're talking about it being tight out there.
Well, the surface this week was synthetic, a very nice synthetic. Volume of oil, 22 milliliters per board. Length of oil, 37 feet. And the type of oil this week was defense.
So a little bit of length and some carry down going on. Needing to be a little softer. And just to explain to the audience, if you're not a scratch bowler or a top bowler that hooks the ball, I would relate it to like turning the corner in on pavement that's wet. If you turn too fast, it's going to slide. If you slow it down, you'll grip and you'll turn. And the same thing happens on the bowling lane. Anyway.
Exactly right.
Either that or you have to have a lot of rotation, like Leanne Barrette has.
Or Tiffany, who you can see is throwing a ball that has a lot of shine. Because of the rotation on her ball, it compensates for throwing it slower with surface.
Leaving a 310.
Which is another light hit. Tiffany's another one like Liz, hard and straight. Although Tiffany has a lot of rotation, she also may have needed a little service, or she can slow her ball speed down.
Her shot was her third TV appearance this year, that being Tiffany. She talked to us about, hey, I've only made 4 in my whole career. She made 2 her first year, 99, 2 in 2000, none last year. So Tiffany's thrilled so far with her performance.
Now Liz Johnson has changed balls. This was the ball she shot at that 210 spare, split. And again, on lane 46, she comes up high.
Yeah, because she changed it. The first shot last frame and came light. So she's searching all of a sudden.
Yes, she is. You can see there she rolled that around 10, but it's grabbing too quick in the back end. 3-6-10. She'll throw her plastic ball at this.
She's ranked 11th right now on tour, that off of our point rankings. When they're just having a tough time, Kathy. You bowled on them. Did you see this happen, transition, or do you think it's because of the...
Well, there's that dirty word we talk about every week, the transition period. If you can just try to grind it out and make your spares and try not to give the pocket away. As we've seen week to week, it always comes down to the last frame. This is definitely transition. Liz just needs to get to the pocket. She may have to move left a little, which of course is not her comfort zone. There you see she did. Threw a beautiful shot.
And she always likes to have that little bit of point. She doesn't
Yes.
like to open it up or project the ball right.
Right. Because she can't come around it enough to get the ball back.
7 career appearances, as we just talked about. 5 and 6 record. 203 average, not too bad on TV
Not
for
bad at
someone
all.
who hasn't made it a real lot. Kind of light, leaving a 3-pin, and again, Tiffany Steinberg going for her first career title, that 99 Rookie of the Year, and she just wants it so bad. She has family and everything here. Wouldn't it be a great week for her to be able to grab that first title?
Well, her mom, Beverly, and her father, Roy, and Uncle Bob are here to take the trophy and the check home, that's for sure. Very talented young lady. And she stated her last show when she lost in Terre Haute that she just had a million thoughts going on. But you know, your first title, so it's difficult. There's her mom and dad.
I don't think they're certain what to think right now. There's Rookie of the Year. 4 of the 5 of our ladies tonight have been a Rookie of the Year at one point. Interesting mix on that shot.
She liked that one. Tiffany's one of those bowlers that can really make the pins dance around. You can see beautiful release right behind the ball, a lot of rotation. Watch these pins. Wow, I don't even know what pin that was that got the 7th pin. She liked it.
Well, it's a close one right now, but Tiffany Steinberg in the lead by 14 pins. We'll be right back with more action from Don Carter West. We're back at the Dallas Open through 7 frames. Tiffany Steinberg in the lead by 14 pins. A little bit of trouble while we were away with a couple of frames there. Tiffany Steinberg leaving at 3-9. Liz Johnson leaving at 6-10. And they have just, they're both lost right now, Kathy.
This is what it was like all week. The girls that could just stay focused and stay clean are the ones that you're going to see on the shows. When that transition hits, panic attacks hit also, because you don't want to give up the pins you worked so hard for to get. This is what happens during the week. Spares are very important.
She converts that one nicely. You saw 53% match play record overall for Liz Johnson. Most of these ladies in the low to mid 50% on match play. That counting the 24 games that are bowled throughout the week.
And Tiffany defeated Liz in match play 256 to 238. Maybe she can think about that match.
Tiffany Steinberg ahead by 16. Wow. There's that scout again, Jen. Big scout.
She has so much power in her ball. She can really make these pins fly. Again, I couldn't tell you what pin that was, but the 7 pin had no chance. And God, she's really into this. But she said she's matured a lot over the years, and she thinks about what she's doing more. And you can tell. 3 shows, most she's ever made.
So she's now in the lead by 26 pins on our mini scoreboard, brought to you by Travelodge Hotels. 3 pin, 3 pin. It won't go down. Light hit it, almost tripped it.
was her focus, and you can tell.
I think she heard you, Kathy, when you said slow down. You can see Tiffany's match play percentage very close to the same, 53, a little bit higher, 53%.
Yeah, Tiffany is a power player. She's fast, she's hard, she throws a lot of rotation. But because the ball she's throwing, like Leanne, has some shine on it, they have to soften up their ball speed.
So Liz Johnson now trailing by 25 pins. Steps up in the 9th frame.
Now Liz went back to the ball she was originally throwing.
Wow. For someone who started with the first 5 strikes, all in the pocket, a couple light, there's been a lot of change going on.
And now she's come up light on 46, which is the lane she kept coming up high on. Totally misses the headpin to the right, leaving the 1-2. 31st appearance for Liz, 21 and 23. Beautiful TV average. Career 215.4. That's a great TV average. Well, she shot 300. You know, that helps.
That helps that average a lot. Helped her average this week as well. Liz not showing any signs really right now of the back injury, though I don't know if you could tell. She doesn't provide a lot of expression. You couldn't really maybe tell if she's excited or in pain or.
No, she does. She camouflages her agonies.
So Liz Johnson trailing by 27 pins as she steps up in the 10th. Best possible score, 180.
Oh, that was one of her better shots this game. Light 7 pin.
How did that pin knock her down?
You can see great angle of entry into the pocket, and that 7 pin just never even thought of going down, and there were pins over to hit it.
Well, Tiffany Steinberg, she was fortunate to be able to get through, get comfortable here before she heads into that championship match.
She made important spares in between strikes, which was extremely crucial. She said this week I stayed on my shots and I stayed focused. That's why she's going to shoot for the title.
Tiffany Steinberg will just need to knock down 1 pin on 2 shots here in the 10th frame. And that'll be enough. Taking a glance at the score just to make sure, but Liz Johnson will go on to next week, and Tiffany Steinberg will go on. She spares it up. So Tiffany Steinberg will advance, but first when we come back, get to know WIBC President-elect Sylvia Broyles, as I chatted with her earlier today for this week's WIBC Extra Frames. Final score of match 2, Tiffany Steinberg 194 to Johnson's 167. So coming up next, Tiffany Steinberg will take on the defending champion here in Dallas, Texas, Carolyn Dorin Ballard. Don't go away. We're at the Dallas Open at Don Carter West in Dallas, Texas, and there's the championship trophy that the 2 women will be vying for in this match. Tiffany Steinberg against Carolyn Dorin Ballard. I'm Jan Schmidt along with Kathy Dorin Lizzie. Tiffany Steinberg back into the championship match. Not happy with her last performance in a championship match. Much better.
And we'll have another new champion tonight too, Jan, won't we?
We will. We've had 7 different ones so far. We'll have an 8th tonight. Carolyn Dorin Ballard, top seed. The string of top seed in singles events this year has been perfect, 7 for 7. So will she continue that? However, she's bowling Tiffany Steinberg. They've only met once on television. Tiffany Steinberg had the edge in that match, 235 to 225.
She also beat Carolyn in match play, 213 to 196.
They both in position round. Yeah, they split throughout the week.
Yes.
They each won throughout this week. Carolyn Dorin Ballard, big, as you talked about in the open of the show, very important for her. I remember this last year. The crowd behind her, but both of these ladies a favorite here. Carolyn, the hometown crowd favorite, but Tiffany Steinberg bowls a lot of doubles tournaments here and has won 2 here. In fact, One of the gentlemen at the bowling center was telling me that they call her the Queen of Don Carter West.
Well, they should. She won the doubles tournament in '97, 2000 with 2 different partners.
So I think the fans will really be into this match. I'm not sure who will be the favorite. They both are, it looks like. And she is pumped.
Well, we don't know Carolyn to be any other way. Now that she didn't really stay on that shot too well, but she stayed on the shot more than she did her footwork. And that's why she blew the pins around. Another great shot by Tiffany.
Okay, she looks tough. Now, Tiffany had told us that she was just going to try to just slow down and make shots and not get caught up in the championship match thing like happened to her against Brenda Norman.
I definitely see a different Tiffany tonight than we did a month ago.
Next week, the PWBA heads to FunQuest Lanes in Collierville, Tennessee for the Miller High Life National Players Championship. This premier event has a new sponsor and a new home this year, creating 3 defending champions. Don't miss the action. That's Monday, 1 hour later, 9 p.m. Eastern. Pretty interesting. 3 defending champions in one event as Tiffany throws here in the 3rd frame. We have the defending champion at FunQuest Lanes, which will be Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard. The defending champ of the Players Championship, Liz Johnson, who we just saw. And then the sponsor's defending champion of Miller High Life, and that's Michelle Feldman from Omaha. So it should be an interesting event. I hope you tune in and stay with us. Tiffany covering up the spare, and Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard trying to get back on track. Imagine Kathy a year ago had 4 victories already, and
what a difference a year makes.
Yeah, hasn't been able to win. In fact, she hasn't won a match on television.
Well, we've talked about the fact that 2 years ago when Wendy did her string of 15 tournaments, it inspired girls to go home and improve on whatever they felt they needed to do that. Carolyn came out last year, so girls went home and tried to improve to do what she did. So there's a lot of talent out here, and it's not as easy to win, but when you do it that many times, God, how awesome.
Absolutely, and every time somebody achieves something, everyone else believes they can also.
Well, great shot by Carolyn. Has a great line of the pocket in between 1st and 2nd arrow. She is intense, my God. Those pins don't fall by her bowling ball. She's going to screen them down.
She is. There's a look at our average leaders for the year. Leanne Barrette is in 1st. Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard is 3rd. Feldman, Gaines, and McPherson. Those averages compiled by Ebonite Tournament Coordinator. That's the official software of the PWBA Tour. Carolyn now working on the front 3.
Yeah! Another great shot.
She asked and she received. Very close run last night. Tammy Turner just missing out. Kelly Kulik, she was 5th going into position round. She's a reigning Rookie of the Year.
We have Kendra Gaines in 12th, and we've seen a ton of Kendra this year, finishing up there in 12th. And Karen Stroud from another Texan, Victoria, Texas, in 15th.
Tiffany Steinberg quickly up in the 4th frame. She's very, very fast when she gets up and rolls. But as we said, she's been working to slow that down.
She said as long as she stays down and comes through her shots, she'll bowl well. And she did that this week. I crossed next to her and she bowled great. She's still bowling great.
Trailing by 31 pins on our Travelodge scoreboard, coming up light with a 3-9. And she knows. She's upset with herself, and probably a little quick. She knows every time what that is. It causes her to pop up out of her shots. And that's what she said is her biggest problem.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to face the reigning bowler of the year for my first title either.
Well, we talked about Carolyn starting her 3-in-a-row string last year. It was last June at Don Carter City View in front of the hometown crowd. She needed this shot to defeat Dee Dee Davidson 217 to 213. Actually, Carolyn sat on the bench. Dee Dee had the final say there, but it wasn't loud enough. Carolyn took that victory. And right now she has 5 in a row. This is the same thing we saw Liz Johnson do to start the first match. She has a possible maximum score of 300. Possible max score for Tiffany, if she would strike all the way out, is 249, and Carolyn in the lead by 41 pins.
Well, Carolyn has the combination working for her. She's throwing a strong ball with some surface, and her ball speed is slow, whereas the other girls had one or the other. I think that's a combination that's definitely going to keep Carolyn more accurate.
I think being top seed was a huge advantage here. She saw what happened and knew what she needed to do.
Well, you learn off of what other people are going to do, so you're absolutely right, Jan. Sometimes it pays to be top seed. Great shot, but I don't think she caught it as good as the other ones. Maybe fell out of that a little bit. Luckily left just the 2-pin.
She told us sometimes she's trying to stay more on the side of the ball, and if she doesn't get a smooth arm swing, she can easily fall out of the ball, and that's what she told us last night.
And on this condition, your ball could possibly go anywhere.
So Carolyn Dorin Ballard is in the lead by 40 pins. We'll see if she can recapture the magic of last year when we come back. Stay with us. We've talked each week about Carolyn's nomination for an ESPY, and she talked to us earlier about her ESPY experience.
The first thing is I'd like to thank ESPN. They put on a great, dinner, and I got to meet a lot of famous athletes. But I basically felt that my statistics and my work last year really constituted winning an ESPY. My hat's off to the other nominees. It's not personal, but basically the powers that be just didn't feel that, I guess, a woman was supposed to win an ESPY this year. Hopefully next year and in the coming years, we'll have either a women's category or people will take a look at the statistics and let them speak for themselves.
She has spoken. I would agree. Her statistics were unmatched by anyone in this sport.
Male or female, correct?
Exactly.
Well, like we've talked about, Jan, one day someone may come out and top what Carolyn did in 25 or 30 years, and hopefully that young lady will not go home empty-handed from the ESPYs.
Come on! Yeah!
Well, she doesn't look like she's empty-handed right now. Carolyn's getting a break there, tripping off a 4-pin.
Carolyn obviously has the best line to the pocket. Everything's matching for her. Her ball speed, her surface, the equipment. That's what you need to win tournaments. She played all over the lane this week, and the earlier in qualifying, she played in. She had to open up and be a little soft. Then the lanes got tighter as the week went on. You had to play further right. She always found the right combination to get to the show and lead the tournament.
Her max score right now, possible 279. Even a 10-pin. Tiffany's max score possible 225. Now, 10-pin, that's one of the things, Kathy, she was trying to work on in coming more on the side of the ball to get a little more hit, a little more skid, a little more hit.
Well, by staying on the side of the ball, it allows her ball to delay early roll. Therefore, it conserves energy to hit a little harder in the back.
PWBA Chairman of the Board, John Summer, was recently honored as recipient of the Mid-America Bowling Writer Sam Weinstein Distinguished Service Award, presented to a person who has distinguished him or herself by extraordinary devotion to bowling. Summer, who along with John Falzone is credited with founding the Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour, now the PWBA, also played an instrumental role in developing one of the most successful youth scholarship programs in the country. Congratulations to Chairman of the Board, John Summer. He does a great job for high school bowling. He continues to drive in high school in Northern Illinois for scholarships and across the country. So thank him for that. We saw a quick glimpse of Dee Dee Davidson last year. She's the one who finished second in this event. Good showing after 6 weeks off with a back injury. And Deandra Hyman, talented amateur, Team USA member, former collegiate bowler.
And then in 21st, Michelle Feldman, one of our champions this year, and Paulina Alto from Finland, finishing 23rd. Great little athlete, Paulina.
Tiffany Steinberg still down by 54. Big strike in the ninth. She'd have to hope for disaster out of Carolyn Dorin Ballard, but she's throwing pretty good shots. A couple of bad shots, but for the most part, she's been there this match.
Yeah, Tiffany has everything to be proud of. I see such a different bowler today than we did tonight than we did a month ago. Mature, focused. We'll see her more often. She'll get that title.
Carolyn, reigning player of the year, trying to get that winning back.
Oh, no.
Got a little soft on that, jumped. Big four. You can see here, she got it in just a little bit. He actually had great ball roll on it, but a little too slow and it jumped. Big four. She'll get the wood.
1 and 2, got 2 of them. So 9th frame.
I'd like to say a quick thank you. We had a chiropractor this week and massage therapists to make all of our aches and pains go away. Dr. Allison Cohen, Billy and Regina Gooden, Jeannie Zachary of the Corporate Care Mobile Massage. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And Carolyn Dorin Ballard now stepping up in the 10th, even with that open frame, needs 3 pins in 2 balls to win.
To redefend her title? Oh, great shot. 10 times better shot than the last frame.
So Carolyn Dorin Ballard successfully defends her title, defeats Tiffany Steinberg. We'll be right back with more. Don't go away.
The championship round finals of the Dallas Open are being brought to you by the Women's International Bowling Congress, striving for 87 years to identify and fulfill the needs of women bowlers. By Travelodge Hotels, proud to be the official lodging sponsor of the Professional Women's Bowling Association. And by PWBA.com, the tour's official site for news and information about the PWBA and its athletes.
Final score of the championship match, Carolyn Dorin Ballard 223 to Tiffany Steinberg's 184. So Carolyn Dorin Ballard is the Dallas Open champion. She receives her check and trophy from Adam Weiss, the general manager of Don Carter West. So Carolyn Dorin Ballard is the 8th different champion in 9 events and continues the top seed dominance, winning career title number 18. Join us Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the finals of the Miller High Life National Players Championship. For Kathy, Dorin, Lizzie, I'm Jan Schmidt. So long. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on ESPN.com.